Good morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching JanataTelevision and this is English Bulletin with me, Jestha Bhattrai. The top stories first. Death toll from coronavirus climbs to 457 persons infected in the country. Government seals all entry points of Kathmandu Valley. No one allowed to enter the valley except for emergency. Indian media accused of yellow journalism. Biased coverage gets backlash in Nepal. Trump announces another treaty withdrawal. US pulls out of Open Sky Treaty. And EFL confirms elevation and relegation to remain intact. League One likely to be cancelled. And now, the news in detail. A person infected with coronavirus has died while undergoing treatment in Crimson Hospital of Rupandehi district. This is the third fatality recorded in the country after the government imposed a lockdown on March 24. According to the Ministry of Health and Population, a 41-year-old man from Gulmi died yesterday in course of treatment. He was kept in ventilator after his condition deteriorated. Earlier, a 29-year-old woman from Sindhu Palanchok district and a 25-year-old man from Bake had succumbed to the disease. Spokesperson at the ministry, Dr. Vikas Devkota, informed that the total number of persons infected with coronavirus has reached 453 as of yesterday evening. There were reports of 4 more cases, taking the tally to 457 in the country.
23 वर्षीय महिला 37 वर्षीय पुरुष 25 वर्षीय महिला र 27 वर्षीय पुरुषहरू हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँहरू सबै 9औं दिनमा सो अस्पतालबाट डिस्चार्ज हुनुभएको हो। यसरी कुल डिस्चार्ज हुने व्यक्तिहरूको संख्या 49 पुगेको छ।
Meanwhile, 4 persons receiving treatment for coronavirus at Teku Hospital have been discharged after full recovery. According to Dr. Devkota, all 4 of them were discharged on the 9th day of the admission to the hospital. The total number of people who have recovered from coronavirus has reached 49 so far. The government has carried out
अपडेट अनुसार नयाँ संक्रमितहरू 9 जना थपिनु भएको छ, जसमा रूपन्देहीमा 1 जना 27 वर्षीय पुरुष जो श्रीलंकन गेस्ट हाउस क्वारेन्टाइन लुम्बिनीमा, त्यसैगरी झापामा 8 जना पुरुषहरू। यसरी कुल संक्रमित हुनेको संख्या 453 पुगेको छ। रूपन्देहीको मणिग्राम स्थित क्रिम्सन अस्पतालको सघन कक्षको भेन्टिलेटर सहितको उपचारमा रहनुभएका मदाने गाउँपालिकाका 41 वर्षीय पुरुषको आज बिहान निधन भएको खबर प्राप्त भएको छ।
So far, the government has carried out 38,736 tests through PCR method, while the number of tests through RDT method stands at 78,695. Altogether, 25,030 persons are kept in quarantine across the country at present. The Home Ministry has issued an order to seal all entry points into Kathmandu Valley, with the movement only permitted under special conditions. The Home Ministry has instructed all local units within the valley to abide by this decision to prohibit anyone from leaving or entering the valley during the lockdown period. All illegal entries will also be cracked down, the ministry informed. Anyone who wishes to enter Kathmandu Valley must present their RDT report and a valid reason at all entry points. All vehicles that reach the checkpoints must be closely monitored by the security forces, and a prior information must be sent to security agencies in the destination district. The decision was taken after a meeting of the people's representatives from the local levels with the Home Minister Ram Bahadur Thapa on May 14. The local level representatives had asked for tightening the flow of people to and from the valley. Indian media, often alleged of biased journalism, have been unapologetically conducting baseless debates and defaming Nepal in the aftermath of Nepal releasing a new political map. The mainstream Indian media has gone so far as providing false testimony on claiming Lipulekh, Limpiadhura and Kalapani as their undisputed territory. Indian news channels have time and again faced a severe backlash for biased coverage and hypocrisy within India. The primetime news channel debates were busy foul-mouthing Nepal and Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, undermining the basic ethics of TV interviews. Lack of research is clearly visible among many such presenters, only keen to scandalize the issue.
इसी खबर का रुख कर लेते हैं। भारत में फिल्मों से मशहूर ही अभिनेत्री मनीषा कोइराला ने नेपाल के विवादित नक्शे पर नेपाल का पक्ष लिया है। नेपाली अभिनेत्री ने नेपाल के दावे को सही बताया है।
नेपाली विदेश मंत्री प्रदीप गव्याली के ट्वीट का जवाब देते हुए मनीषा कोइराला ने ये भी बात कही है। सिर्फ इतना ही नहीं, उन्होंने इस मुद्दे पर चीन को भी पार्टी माना है।
Similarly, Bollywood actress Manisha Koirala, who retweeted Foreign Minister Pradeep Gaiwali's tweet in support of Nepal's claim, had to go through an ordeal by the Indian media where professional dignity has also been discarded.
Even earlier, so I would not like to incite this further, but the thing is, we have said very clearly that we would like to present all the evidences that are there, and then Government of India can also produce its evidences.
No.
Both sides can sit down and talk,
sir,
and then this could be resolved.
You know, that way with
what China is not doing, and what I should do, and what I should not do. This is not what you should be saying. You should be asking my
Mr.
opinion.
Rijal.
You may disagree with me.
And many other news channels have been predicting warlike situation among the neighbors and presenting military and arms comparison of both the nations.
जो उत्तराखंड से लेके लिपुलेख तक जारी थी, तो एक इलाका भारत में और एक इलाका इन्होंने नेपाल का उचक लिया।
सही।
और उसके नतीजे में नेपाल ने, यानी अब नेपाल में मुजाहरे शुरू हो गए। ये वो नेपाल जो भारत की ऐसी जेब में रखा होता था चंद साल पहले तक।
Nepali Congress leader Dr. Manindra Rizal has been hailed on social media by the netizens after he took a strong stance for Nepal in an interview with an Indian channel which is pro-BJP. Republic TV presenter Arnab Goswami is often accused of spreading hate speech and misrepresentation in India itself. The Indian media have also been accusing Nepal of coming under Chinese influence, ignoring all evidences and historical documents provided by the Nepalese side. With this pace, the media is likely to incite Cold War among the nations instead of finding a diplomatic solution. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We continue with other national news. It has been 60 days now since the government decided to impose a lockdown to combat the transmission of coronavirus. The lockdown, first imposed on March 24, was extended time and again. Vehicles providing essential services and those with permits are the only ones in operation. Currently, the government has also imposed a restriction in travel from one district to another. However, local supply stores are operational. Police have been actively punishing people roaming around without valid reasons. Just a few days ago, government announced restarting various essential services as well as banking sector, but due to the rising number of cases, lockdown is being imposed more strictly. In the meantime, the Nepal Engineers Association Bagmati Province has provided an advanced PPE booth to the Teku Hospital for sample collection from coronavirus suspects. The Engineers Association handed over the sample collection booth to the Shukraj Tropical and Infectious Disease Hospital to help in the collection of samples of patients. The booth was made with the investment of approximately 100,000 rupees. Chairman of the association's Bagmati chapter, Nanda Banjare, informed that the booth was provided to help the health professional working in the front line in the fight against coronavirus.
यो कम्प्लिटली एयरटाइट छ। यहाँ बिरामी र स्वास्थ्यकर्मीको बीचमा संवाद होस् भनेर हामीले एउटा माइकको पनि व्यवस्था गरेका छौं। यसलाई एक किसिमको पीपीई पनि भन्न सकिन्छ, किनभने स्वास्थ्यकर्मीलाई संक्रमण हुनबाट यसले बचाउने हो। यसमा संगठित भएका सदस्य साथीहरुबाट न्यूनतम एकजनाले हामीलाई 500 रुपैयाँ दिनुभएको छ, सबभन्दा बढी दिनेले 15,500 रुपैयाँ दिनुभएको छ। यसरी इन्जिनियरहरुबाट उठेको चन्दा हामीले फेसबुक क्याम्पेन गरेका छौं।
Hospital's director Sagar Kumar Rajbhandari said the booth has both helped in the sample collection and raised the spirit of the health workers who deal with the risk of infection on a daily basis. The Nepal
एकजना स्वास्थ्यकर्मीलाई बचाउन भनेको 1000 जना मान्छेलाई बचाउनु हो, किनभने एउटै साथै 1000 सँग कन्ट्याक्टमा भयो। यस्तो अवस्थामा यस्ता प्रकारले बुथ जुन अलि साइन्टिफिकली देखिएको छ, हरेक दिन नयाँ प्रविधि भित्रिएको छ।
The Nepal's Engineers Association has built 17 of these sample collection booths for Kathmandu, Ramechhap, Kabripalanchok, Sindhupalchok, Raswa, Nuwakot and Thading and handed them over to the government hospitals in these regions. And now, the news from Economic Front. Tourism destinations in Lamjung were deserted looks these days. The villages where lots of tourists used to bustle each day have been devoid of people due to the coronavirus pandemic. Even the domestic tourists have stopped visiting the areas. In fact, the tourist arrival has come to a complete halt. Some of the village themselves have prohibited entry of the outsiders in order to prevent the spread of coronavirus. The villages have banned the entry of any visitor as a safety measure. They have even decided to fine anyone who shelters the visitors. Tourism entrepreneurs who had invested in this sector are deeply concerned about their investment. However, they are hopeful that the tourism business will rebound once the current situation ends. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international and sports news. Welcome back. Now the international news. The United States said yesterday it will withdraw from the 35-nation Open Skies Treaty, allowing unarmed surveillance flights over member countries. Reuters reported that this is the Trump administration's latest move to pull the country out of a major global treaty. The administration said Russia has repeatedly violated the pact's terms. Senior officials said the pullout will formally take place in 6 months, but President Donald Trump held out the possibility that Russia could come into compliance. His decision deepens doubts whether Washington will seek to extend the 2010 new START accord. The new accord imposes the last remaining limits on US and Russian deployments of strategic nuclear arms to no more than 1,550 each. It expires in February. The Open Skies Treaty, proposed by US President Dwight Eisenhower in 1955, was signed in 1992 and took effect in 2002. The idea is to let member nations make surveillance flights over each other's country to build trust. At least 300 people have been killed in a fresh wave of intercommunal fighting in South Sudan, BBC reported, citing government authorities. According to BBC, dozens of homes in Jonglei State were destroyed. Warehouses belonging to 8 groups were raided and women and cattle were abducted. 3 aid workers were among those killed. A treaty amid ending the country's 6-year civil war was signed in February. But intercommunal violence has erupted a number of times since some 800 people are believed to have died in such clashes since February. The latest outbreak of violence between pastoralists who rely on livestock and farm workers began on Saturday in the northeastern town of Piri. This has forced thousands of people to flee to the bush, BBC reported. Health workers say many of the victims have gunshot wounds. Some of the injured have been airlifted to the capital, Juba, for treatment. About 380,000 people were killed in South Sudan's civil war. You are watching Janata Television, and now the latest from the world of sports. The English Football League has confirmed clubs from all 3 divisions will still be promoted or relegated even if current seasons haphazardly come to an end amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. Playoffs are likely to begin, but with no more than 4 teams. According to BBC, the EFL has established that 51% of clubs in either the Championship, League 1 or League 2 need to approve for the champion to be curtailed. This will, however, make way for the League 1 season to be cancelled, with teams at this time divided over a resolution, BBC added. Discussions last week came to a halt after at least 6 clubs of the third tier, including Sunderland, Portsmouth and Ipswich Town, said they wanted to continue the season. While League 1 could follow League 2 in being curtailed, the Championship is hoping to resume in June alongside the Premier League. Dynamo Dresden of Bundesliga have confirmed 2 more positive tests for coronavirus. The German second division club has placed their entire squad, including the coaching staff, into isolation for 2 weeks on 9th of May earlier this month, after 2 of their players tested positive for COVID-19. Another player and the partner of a member of the coaching staff have also now tested positive for COVID-19, BBC reported. The infected players and staffs will be placed under further quarantine, but rest of the team will resume training from Saturday. The Bundesliga and Bundesliga 2 both restarted on Saturday, 16th May, the first major European league to resume after the coronavirus shutdown. Dynamo Dresden, however, missed the matches as the team players were still isolating. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin, and the headlines once again. Death toll from coronavirus climbs to 457 persons infected in the country. Government seals all entry points of Kathmandu Valley. No one allowed to enter the valley except for emergency. Indian media accused of yellow journalism. Biased coverage gets backlash in Nepal. Trump announces another treaty withdrawal. US pulls out of Open Skies Treaty. And EFL confirms elevation and relegation to remain intact. League 1 likely to be cancelled. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website at janatasamachar.com. We urge all our viewers to follow government directives of the lockdown and follow healthy hygienic practices to keep safe from any infection. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.